Hey guys, it's Sasha. Let's dive straight into this one. OpenAI says it has evidence China's DeepSeek used its model to train competitor. OpenAI has just gone to the Financial Times and given them this tiny little bit of an exclusive interview saying that they are upset that DeepSeek, the Chinese AI startup, has apparently used OpenAI's data to train their model. And I have a few choice words that I want to share, some unfiltered opinions about OpenAI and about every other big tech company who does the same stuff. And if you're easily offended or there are kids nearby, then maybe watch this video after the kids have gone to bed. So in this breaking news story, the San Francisco-based ChatGPT maker told the Financial Times it had seen some evidence of distillation, which it suspects to be from DeepSeek. The technique is used by developers to obtain better performance on smaller models by using outputs from larger, more capable ones, allowing them to achieve similar results on specific tasks at a much lower cost. The issue is when you take it out of the platform and are doing it to create your own model for your own purposes, said one person close to OpenAI. So OpenAI are very annoyed, it appears, because somebody had the audacity to go and train their model by essentially taking data from OpenAI. Apparently, this method of distillation is essentially just making your own model go to talk to ChatGPT, ask ChatGPT millions and millions of questions to train the model itself, right? And rather than going to all these websites, collating all the information, just go and ask ChatGPT for all the answers. OpenAI declined to comment further or provide details of its evidence. Its terms of service state users cannot copy any of its services or use output to develop models that compete with OpenAI. You can go and read the rest of this article in the Financial Times. The article and the rest of the thing is behind the paywall. I personally do pay for the subscription, it's up to you. But here is the thing. OpenAI is saying that it is against their terms and conditions, against their terms of service, for other companies to come and use their content to make their own models for their own commercial gain. Well, I never. I have some big fucking news for you, Mr. Sam Altman. Every other website in the world also has the same exact clauses in their terms and conditions. You know, the websites that you scraped, every other website in the world is also protected by copyright. They also say that you cannot just take their data and do whatever you want with it for commercial purposes. And for some weird reason, that did not stop OpenAI from coming and taking all of that information, which is expressly not allowed to be used for commercial purposes, taking that information to build their large language models and then make loads and loads and loads of money, billions upon billions of dollars in value of the company. So OpenAI built their entire business, their entire product, on the back of stealing everybody else's data. Literally the exact thing that they've done. If you went and did hours, days, weeks of research, put valuable information on your website, you know, loads of stuff from your own personal experience, OpenAI would just turn up, come along, scrape the whole website, absorb all of that into their training data set, and then sell the regurgitated version with all of your research to their customers. And without stealing all of this data, it would be impossible for OpenAI to ever build their product because they would have had to pay trillions of dollars to get access to the information in the first place. Sam Altman basically acknowledged this many times in interviews in the past, and last year Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft, who owns 50% of OpenAI, said that anything that can be accessed on the open web is fair game. He said that if information is available on your website, then it is in the public domain, apparently, according to tech bros. Of course, that is not true. It is complete horseshit, and you are not allowed to just randomly turn up to a website, copy all of their stuff, to then go and use it for your own commercial purposes to make money on it. That's illegal. Every developed country has very strict copyright laws that expressly say the exact opposite to what people like Satya Nadella are saying. But Satya Nadella is a chump, and he only cares about enriching himself and his buddies and the shareholders of Microsoft, so he thinks it's perfectly fine to go and steal other people's data if it helps you to get richer. Except it's not fine when it happens in reverse. It's not fine when other people do it to you, apparently. Over the weekend, DeepSeek released their model, and according to DeepSeek, they trained their whole model on a fraction of the hardware that OpenAI uses, and for just $6 million, which is orders of magnitude less than what it cost OpenAI to train their models. Apparently, this R1 model by DeepSeek is about as good as the best O-series models by OpenAI. And OpenAI is now crying and complaining loudly, and all their friends on social media complaining loudly, because they are saying that after they spent all of that money to build ChatGPT, the Chinese just came and took their data and built their own product, and they're selling it, and it's much cheaper. Oh no! I tell you what, I love a good case of fuck around and find out. What do you think did all the publishers do before you came and stole their data? In the last year, Google has destroyed hundreds of thousands of publishers by stopping sending them traffic and instead showing preferred websites that they have commercial deals with, and their own AI-generated answers, trained on the data of the websites that they have since destroyed. Those websites also collectively spent huge amounts of money, spent huge amounts of effort, built loads of personal experience, years of time put into collating and creating that information, and now that the information has been taken, there is no longer any need for those websites. So Google has basically deleted all those websites off the face of the earth and present their own product instead. Hundreds of thousands of small and medium-sized online businesses no longer exist as far as Google's concerned. As far as Google's concerned, from March last year, those websites have just been wiped. They're getting no traffic at all. Instead of sending you to somebody else's website, Google can keep you on their own platform and show you more ads. This way they make more money. And OpenAI did exactly the same thing. So when OpenAI, Microsoft, Google, all these other people steal everybody's data brazenly, then it's okay. It's fair game. That data is in the public domain because you can access it on your website. But when everybody else does it to OpenAI, when anybody else does it to OpenAI, it is a really bad, evil thing to do. How dare they? Let me get the tiniest of tiny violins and play a very little sad song while the executives at OpenAI cry about this one. I am sorry, but I have zero sympathy. I just do not care one iota for the dweebs at OpenAI and every other company that is doing this with their large language models. You live by the sword, you die by the sword, and I hope you die very, very quickly by that sword. If data that can be accessed on a website can be used by you to make money without paying the people from whom you stole it, well then the same exact thing can work against you too, and it should. It should, and I really hope it continues to. In fact, DeepSeek probably paid you for the data by buying a boatload of tokens. Most of the website users whose data was scraped did not get paid anything, not 1 cent, unless those people at DeepSeek maybe managed to create millions upon millions of free accounts and then use the free quotas. I really hope it is that latter bit. I really hope they paid OpenAI absolutely nothing, because that would just make this even sweeter. It would make it way better. The guys who plagiarized and stole from everybody else on the whole internet are now complaining that somebody else is stealing their stolen stuff from them. It is like running to the cops and saying that somebody just stole the car that you stole from somebody else last night. The funniest thing is that OpenAI and the rest of the LLM space has this whole army of tech bro fanboys defending everything that they do. It is just nauseating. When somebody complains about the fact that OpenAI stole their data, these tech bro dimwits will come out of their dark, shadowy corners and say that this is how the internet works, man. Copyright doesn't apply. It's just so antiquated. Your terms and conditions don't apply. The fact that you do not consent for Sam Altman to turn up and steal your information and do whatever he wants with it to become a multi-billionaire, that's irrelevant. And if you disagree, it's because you're sour, it's because you're a dinosaur, it's because you don't get it. Well, who's sour now? How does it feel when the shoe is on the other foot? How does it feel when somebody comes and says, fuck you to your copyright, fuck you to everything that you've worked for years to produce, and makes a cheap copy to replace you and destroys your business in the process? Oh, does that not feel so nice? Oh no, what a shame. What was that? You want your copyright protections? You want the law to punish people who break your terms and conditions? You want those people to go to prison? You want to be fairly compensated for your work? Is that what you want, Sam? The word that you're looking for is karma. Karma has turned up and dished out a giant can of whoop-ass and smacked you square in that smug face of yours. I hope that another dozen Chinese tech companies come and do the same exact thing and devalue these LLM grifters all the way to zero. You went straight up the line of FAFO and you are now beginning to find out. The fact that governments around the world, in the United States, in the UK, elsewhere, are in cahoots with these tech bros is actually kind of sad. The US is busy announcing Project StarCraft or Stargate or Starfish or whatever it is. The UK government is apparently considering changing hundreds of years of copyright law to allow AI companies to come and steal other people's proprietary data because it's the future, bro. And I'm sure all of this is not in any way whatsoever linked to gross corruption, greed, and personal interest. Now, let me get my extra large popcorn and wait for the inevitable tech bros crying in the comments. See you guys later.